Welcome back to the White Sox franchise, episode 3, and we're finally going to have some gameplay here as we finish the offseason in the last one. That two-parter took a little longer than I thought it would, but we're into spring training now, and what we're going to see in this episode is I'm going to play through a couple of different things in spring training, just kind of see how the team looks to start, and give a couple guys a player lock to kind of test them out. So the way I'm also going to structure this video is going to be a little different. I'm going to try something different for this franchise. So what we're going to do is I am commentating in post right now over the spring training portion, and then we're going to play opening day at the end of the episode, and that's going to be a live commentary. So that's how I'm planning on formatting it. But with that out of the way, we are going to get into how this spring training is going to go. So the first thing we're going to get into is this contract extension screen. So these are all the guys that are available to extend. I'm not too familiar with this feature because I haven't played franchise since it went in the game. But of all these guys, there's some that are just unproven and I don't know if I want to extend. So we're leaving that screen be for now. And the next thing we're going to look at is the coaches. Because as you can see right now, we got a couple of C-grade coaches that are taking away some attributes from our players. So we're going to look to replace these guys, Lloyd Baker and Don Cooper. So we're going to look for a new hitting coach first, and we found Richard Davis, an A grade. I'm only going to sign him to 1 year, though, because, of all the options, even the A grade people, their attributes weren't that great boosted. But we fired Lloyd Baker, signed our new coach here, and then we're looking for a pitching coach, and Lloyd Baker pops up as a pitching coach, so we got to sign him. I don't know, I just found that funny that we fire him as a hitting coach, and then all of a sudden we can hire him back as a pitching coach, and he's a better pitching coach than he was hitting coach. So I don't know, I did it more for the laughs, but even his attributes aren't that bad. So now we're going to get into the first game of spring training here. All I really wanted to do was play one time through the order with what's going to be the starting lineup. So I'm going to bat one time through the order and then however long that takes on the mound. So Giolito pitching, he's going to be our ace on the year. Once again, gets the first out and then the second out on a pop-up. So he's looking pretty good. He didn't have the best season last year, so he's looking to bounce back a little bit, but he is still an A potential, so he's going to be upgrading throughout the year. But then here at the plate, Anderson drawing a walk. I tried Luis Robert out in the 2-hole for this game just to see how it would work, but he ends up striking out. And then now Moncada up here in the 3 spot. He hits one in the gap, so I think I'm going to have Moncada bat second in the regular season, just because I envision Tim Anderson getting on a lot and Moncada driving him in. That would just be ideal. But then Eloy up here, he hits that one pretty hard to third, but it's not going to get past Rendon over there. So we got a Jose up now, and he hits that one deep, and it is going to be gone. So Jose Abreu getting it started with our first home run in the spring training. Who else? The probably front-runner MVP candidate in real life. He wasn't quite as good in the 2020 season for our March to October, but he's still a big part of the team. So Mazzara there, he put a good swing on the ball. And now, of course, Mike Trout is going to be the one to get a hit because why wouldn't he be? I mean, it's Mike Trout. Good luck getting him out. But we do manage to finish the inning without that run coming around to score. And it looked like Tim Anderson had a bronze fielding badge there. And I really didn't understand it because our what's it called? Our coaches, I don't think they gave a fielding boost. If anything, they gave a fielding reduction. So I don't know if Tim Anderson had just like a boost from his morale that bumped him up to a bronze fielder, but I don't know. I don't know how it works, but if Tim Anderson can be a bronze glove instead of a common glove at short, that'd be pretty big. But we go down 1-2-3 in the next inning there. Vaughn and Madrigal both not doing anything. So I wanted to give Vaughn another try because he's someone brand new. Us White Sox fans, we haven't seen him yet. So I wanted to give him a player lock, and the first thing he's going to do is ground out to short. So not the best start, but he's going to get more at-bats. It's spring training. So we're getting the second at-bat here. They actually bring in a righty, so not a favorable matchup, but Vaughn doesn't care. He launches it. It's gone. I like Andrew Vaughn's swing. I'll be honest. That's a good swing. So I'm looking forward to using him and hopefully him getting boosts and playing better, getting those attributes up. So I wanted to do some more player locks here. Michael Kopeck's another one. You'll notice kind of a trend in these player locks is going to be young guys we haven't really seen before. So we're going to give Kopeck a try. He is going to be our 5th starter on the season. That's the plan. And when I was playing through this game here in his player lock, a couple of things I noticed was obviously he lacks control. And look at Anderson there making that play. But obviously Kopeck lacks control. But he does still seem tough to hit. And there was a lot of weak contact. Like even this ball right here, that only got down because of the shift. I don't have the shift on when I play, but because it's a player lock, it wasn't my settings or whatever. But just a lot of weak contact from Kopeck. So kind of what I'm thinking, managing him during the season, is I might kind of limit him. I might kind of do a Blake Snell Rays situation and not let him face the third time through the order, unless he is dominating. So I guess in that sense, not a Blake Snell Rays situation. But I don't know. Even the games that I simulate, I might quick manage just to kind of manage him, because I don't want him struggling this year. Like that's the last thing we want, is his development being hindered by poor performances. So if he does better in the earlier part of the games and then he kind of loses at the end, we don't want that to happen. So that's just how I'm thinking of managing Kopeck. And now we are getting into a Dylan Cease player lock. Cease is not going to be in the major leagues to start this year. He's not going to make it over Kopeck. He's a worse overall, and he's 2 years older. So Cease is interesting, and look at what happened here. That ball did not leave, but it somehow glitched through the wall and hit off Mazzara, and it just kind of counted as a home run. I don't know what happened there, but that shouldn't have been a home run. But anyway, I don't really know what I plan on doing with Cease, because in all honesty, I don't know if I see him being a piece on this team, just with how we're set up. Like, we got Jordan Montgomery. He's going to be pretty solid. And Keuchel, even though he's getting a little older, he was still playing good last year. So I don't know if he's going to fall off to the point where we'd bring up Cease. And, like, the fact that Cease, he hung that one there, and that got absolutely blasted. But the fact that Cease is 25, and even with an A potential, he's only a 70 overall, I don't know how big of a window he has. So he might be more valuable in a trade. So we'll have to see how that goes. But he ends up going 4 innings, only giving up 2 hits and 3 runs and a walk. So all in all, he didn't do too bad. In this game, it lasted 17 innings in the end. I figured I'd include that because that was kind of crazy. But yeah, for all the struggles that I showed with Cease, he ended up not pitching that bad. So we'll see what happens with him. He's a big question mark. And now the next guy we're going to player lock here is Daniel Palka. And I think I mentioned in one of the other episodes earlier on, if you saw that, Daniel Palka has 95 power. He was in the minors with 95 power. And this right here is what 95 power looks like. I know that went foul, but that absolutely jumped off of his bat. So he's someone that I want to bring up for this year. At least have him on the bench, but I plan on having him be the DH against righties, at least to start, while Andrew Vaughn still develops, and he's gonna be really valuable with that power. So next, I wanted to player lock Dane Dunning. He's another interesting one because he's nowhere near as good as he is in real life in this game. They kind of did him dirty with the potential only being a C, and he's only a 70 overall, so he's really not going to get that much better. But he did have a good pitch mix. He had 5 pitches. And honestly, when I was pitching with him, he felt pretty good. Like I felt kind of in control with him, which is weird to say, when I used Kopeck and Cease earlier, and then Dane Dunning was the one who I kind of felt the best using. But I don't know. He's another one I don't know about. Like, I just don't see a spot for him with how our team looks. The only thing I can think of is if like Carlos Rodon does awful or gets hurt again, we might look to bring up somebody. I mean, like, we'd have to bring up somebody to fill in that 5th spot. And honestly, just based on the innings that Cease got versus the innings that Dunning got here in the spring training, I might go with Dunning. Like, he did give up more hits, and you saw that run. That was pretty much another product of the shift when Yelich hit that double. So I don't know. I really don't know about our pitching situation moving into the future. But we're pretty much at the end of the spring training here. I just simmed to the end. There was really nothing else I wanted to see. Kind of finished weak, but 15 and 13 in spring training, it doesn't really matter if you think about it. But just a quick look at our guys' stats here. Going through, starting at starting pitcher. I mean, Giolito did decent enough. Dallas Keuchel still keeping that ERA down. Again, I know it's spring training, but like, the longer we can stave off Dallas Keuchel's regression, the better. Because like, he is getting to the point where in MLB The Show, they drop down in rating. And also you can see Rodon there. I highlighted him because he had a bad spring training. And like, you look at his pass and he just hasn't been that great. So even though he's a decent rating, he might not be that good. So that might be where bringing up Cease or Dunning could come into play. I don't know. But Ken Giles in the spring training, 9 innings, no runs allowed. He's going to be our closer in the stacked bullpen, at least at the start. So if he can put up numbers like that, that's going to be really good for us. But then moving, just a couple of guys I really only cared about was Andrew Vaughn and Nick Madrigal's stats. Vaughn had a pretty good spring training, 3 home runs and a 301 average in 73 at-bats. Madrigal, not quite as good. He got more at-bats, but didn't put up the numbers. He's the kind of guy that you want batting over 300. And then another real quick thing I did here was change all of our new guys to relief pitcher primaries just for kind of organization's sake. But yeah, that's it for spring. We're going to move on to the regular season. And that's pretty much going to do it. Before this game, we're gonna see here though our rankings before the season starts. We're ranked as the 5th overall team, 2nd in contact, which is really good, 8th in power, which is also pretty decent, 4th in pitching. I'm surprised it's not number 1. Like, I know our rotation isn't as good as it could be, but like, our bullpen is so good that I really don't know how we're not just the best pitching wise, but that's fine. I mean, we'll prove the rankings wrong. But then moving down, 24th in defense expected. I mean, with Eloy in left and Tim Anderson at short, not the strongest fielding team. But I don't worry about that all that much. And if it gets to be a problem, we'll look into it. But then finally, 4th in speed. Obviously, we got some fast guys, especially with the addition of John Birdie. But with that being said, that's gonna do it for this portion of the video, and I'm gonna throw you over to, I guess, past me, because I already recorded the gameplay, but we're gonna take you to opening day with the live commentary. Opening day of season 2 is here, and I'm excited. 2021 season, defending World Series champion Chicago White Sox getting the season started at home. I wonder if we're going to see any sort of banner raising thing. I doubt it, but that'd be kind of cool if they added that in. So they're going to talk about our pitching. I'll talk about our pitching. Major upgrades to the bullpen this year. We signed 3 huge arms, Sean Doolittle, Brad Hand, and Liam Hendricks. We already had a solid bullpen. Got those guys back like Giles and Givens. We got a solid rotation. It's not elite. It's not the best rotation in the league, but we got Giolito trotting out there for game 1, and that guy actually could be a big piece this year. Daniel Palka getting another chance in the bigs. He'll be our DH for the start of the year at least, against righties with that 95 power. We got a slightly new look this year in terms of the team. We got two new guys in Nick Madrigal and Andrew Vaughn, two rookies, I mean to say, because Palka's also a new guy. We also signed John Birdie. He's going to be on the bench, though. But other than that, our core is very much intact. No Edwin, that's also another change. And I went with the black sleeve and pinstripe jerseys with the Batterman hat. I don't know if we saw those at all during the March to October, but it's fun to be able to pick the uniforms. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and throw this first pitch. We're going to go first pitch, fastball, low and in. Challenge him right away. And we hit the spot perfectly. Fouled it off to start the season. And a grounder to third. Moncada starting the year off with a good little jump throw there. Nice little flash of the leather to start the year. That's what I like to see. Moncada is going to be a huge piece to this team. Also, I want to mention, just like in the March to October, we played through that whole thing on Legend difficulty. Nothing's changing. We're keeping the hitting difficulty on Legend as well as the pitching difficulty. And Jose Ramirez popping out. This is a good start to the season for Giolito. 2 outs on 4 pitches. Let's keep this up. Let's finish this first inning strong and efficient. And that's grounded to second. The first chance to see Madrigal in that range in the hole. That's amazing. That is a good sign out there at second base. This is going to be a tough task. Shane Bieber is who we're facing on opening day. He threw 243 innings last season. That is insane. With a 3.18 ERA, 244 strikeouts. He's not quite as good as he was in real life, at least attribute-wise, just because within this universe, his real-life season this year didn't happen. Tim Anderson turning on a fastball. Didn't get the best contact on it, though, a little underneath it. It's a shame, too, because my plan for every single game was going to be Tim Anderson with a leadoff single and then Moncada hitting one in the gap to drive him in to start every game. Moncada, though, first pitch swinging a hanging slider, drives to left field, and it's going to die right before the wall. I don't know who that was out there in left, but he made a good play there on the warning track. And Eloy turning on one, is that going to have a chance? It looks like that's also going to die at the warning track. So even though we go down 1-2-3, we put a couple of good swings up in this first inning against Shane Bieber. And they have Edwin. This is something that I did not know. I didn't even realize it, but this is the Edwin revenge game. He definitely declined last year in terms of attributes, but in terms of performance, might have had the best season of his career with us. He was a big part of our World Series run last year in the March to October, but I just didn't find it necessary to re-sign him, and he's already going to make us pay with a single between second and third. Wait, he's stealing? Alright, Edwin. Don't get too big for your britches there. I didn't even notice he was stealing because he got such a bad jump. He almost got in there because I wasn't paying attention. Oh, and I hung that a little bit. I don't think Mazar is going to get there. So that was a good thing that Edwin decided to steal because they'd really be threatening right now. Nice bounce back. Giolito 3-pitch strikeout. That's not where you want to throw your first pitch to Carlos Santana. Yeesh. That was definitely a mistake by me. I missed my spot there on the inside fastball. Caught a lot of the plate. And we are giving up a run before scoring a run in the 2021 season. Oh no, another one. Man, I was getting ready to say that Giolito had a well-pitched inning after that first home run, but that's another fastball that just catches too much of the plate. I don't want to say I'm going to have a quick hook this year, but definitely with how strong our bullpen is, there's no reason to leave someone in too long if they're struggling. And we got the Nick Madrigal in the 9-hole strategy here. His first major league at bat we're going to see in this universe, in this world. Oh, and I chased. That could have been a 3-1 count. Should have been a 3-1 count, but I was a little antsy to put the bat on the ball with Madrigal. There we go. Left the fastball right down the middle for Moncada. That's not going to score Grandal, though. I'm not going to try it with 6 speed. All right. And here we see a very interesting situation. Bases loaded here, 2 outs, trying to respond. And who's coming to the plate but Daniel Palka? Let's see what he can do. He's got a big moment already. And he's going to deliver. Smacks that one up the middle. That's going to bring 2 in, and Eloy's going to get all the way up to third. Daniel Palka, he is wanting to prove himself here in the bigs after not being in them for a long time. Oh, and the fastball up and away gets him absolutely fooled. Wow, I was not expecting that when I missed my spot. Oh, and a hard hit grounder to short. Anderson with the dive. I was not thinking he had a dive for that, but he's showing off out there. Oh, come on, Madrigal. If he makes this play. Oh. Are you serious? Santana again? Oh, I thought I had a chance. Luis Robert got up there pretty high, but man, Carlos Santana is a problem. All right, Giolito with another bounce back there. Good little strikeout. I did get the bullpen up after that Santana home run, so from here on out, Giolito's going to be on a relatively short leash, but I'd really like to get at least one more out of him after this one. There we go. At least Jose's not putting up another home run. But we got to bounce back yet again from a 2-run deficit. Oh, Moncada, that one's got to leave, right? That one's destroyed to center, and there it goes. So we put 1 back on the board now. Moncada getting his first home run, our first home run as a team. And that was a shot to center. Hopefully the first of many for him. He put up 42 last year, so that's a good start to get back to that number again. And Eloy, did we go back to back? He hit that one pretty hard to right center. Oh, it's going to hit the top of the wall. It's going to be a 2-out double, though. Oh, and look at that, a 10-game hitting streak for Eloy, continuing on from the end of last season. Abreu, I don't know if I got enough of that one. Oh, yeah, it's run down there in center. So we can't get the tying run home. Literally just like a foot away from Eloy's leaving and tying it up. But we're still hitting pretty good as a team. Got 1 back there in that inning. And the 12-6 curve sits him down, so Giolito gets through 6. That's probably going to be the end of his day, so no walks, 7 hits, 4 runs through 6. That's not bad at all. Mazzara, that one's hit really high, so I don't know if it has enough carry. It looks like it won't. We are having a lot of warning track balls today. Man, we're just missing a lot. Oh, he didn't get under that one. Luis Robert destroying that ball for his first home run of the year. That one's going to tie the game. Giolito no longer in line for the loss. Worst he can get is a no decision now. But man, that home run was an absolute screamer off of Luis Robert's bat. We kind of grew accustomed to seeing that in the regular season in real life. It's got a distance of only 385. I thought that was hit a lot further, but 107 off the bat. And that's gonna knock Shane Bieber out of the game. Well, now Madrigal's gonna have a different look out there on the mound. He's not gonna have to face Bieber, so maybe that'll help. Maybe he can pick up his first hit. That's going to do it. Nick Madrigal with the perfect swing, hitting that one in the gap. That's going to be a double for his first hit of his career. And that's a really good first hit. That is just a shot. He just looks ecstatic, doesn't he? And Tim Anderson scoots that one by the third baseman. We're going to send Madrigal, and he should get in there easy. So we take a 5-4 lead with the Tim Anderson RBI single there with 2 outs. And even though we took the lead and everything, we're going to go to the bullpen. With just how strong the bullpen is this year, there's no reason not to turn to the bullpen if the starter just isn't dominant. And Giolito was starting to get tired, so no reason to leave him in when he's not having the best game. So we're going to go with Givens. His role is going to be drastically different from last year. Last year he was our main closer, did really good too. He was, I don't think he won reliever of the year, but he was definitely in the running. But like I said, his role is going to be a lot different. He's not going to be the closer. He's not even going to be like the second or third or even fourth guy. Oh, and that's not a good start. Oh, that's not supposed to happen offline. That's an online hit. Especially when this guy is coming up next. We don't want to give cheap hits away. Oh my god. I definitely hung that slider and I got really worried. But it actually works hugely in our favor with a double play. There we go. The changeup for strike 3. So a nice little inning there of relief out of Givens. Oh! Daniel Palka. That is what we're looking for this year. There is that 95, or I think it might be 97 with whatever boost he has going on right now. That was an absolute shot. Another home run for us today, boosting our lead to 6-4. Daniel Palka, that is looking like a really nice call-up so far. He is having a game. So we're going to see Doolittle now. One of our new acquisitions out of the pen. Oh! That was like the slowest moving behind the back play I've ever seen. Well, that's a good little comparison there of the two starters. I would say Giolito definitely has the edge. Yeah, he gave up 2 more hits and he gave up 3 homers, but he didn't walk anybody and he struck out 9 compared to only 2 for Bieber. And the grounder to first gets Lindor to end the 8th, and according to the commentators, that ends whatever hitting streak he was on. 1 inning to go. Oh, look at that. And look at that. That is what I want to see out of Tim Anderson this whole season. Just little annoying base hits like that. That's perfect. Palka, another rocket. Is that going to leave? Oh, it's not going to leave. It hit off the very top of the wall. But it's going to be another RBI for him as he pulls into second. So he's going to end his day a triple away from the cycle. You know, normally I'd feel pretty comfortable with Doolittle and a 3-run lead, even if it's his second inning. But it's opening day. Let's get our hurler out there. The closer, Ken Giles, coming in for the save, even though we're up 3. Oh, and the slider. After 4 straight fastballs, he was just way out in front. Oh, and he's going to sit down on the slider also. And the pop-up to short should do it. Anderson camps under it. And the opening day victory is secured, 7-4. Pretty good game all around there. Exciting team. This is so exciting of a team. We know the White Sox would be, but man, this is just fun. And of all the names we have, the biggest so far is Daniel Palka, calling him up from AAA with his 95 power against righties, going 3 for 4 with a home run and a double, driving in 4 runs and scoring 1 himself. Moncada also had a big day. He hit the home run, scored 2 runs, also had, what was it? I think it was a double. And then Luis Robert with the shot. The only people that didn't get the only starters that didn't get a hit was Abreu and Mazzara. Mazzara, though, all 4 of his outs were on pretty good swings. And then Abreu drew 2 walks. So, like, honestly, no one had a bad game. But this offense is going to be scary. If we're going to hit, or if we're going to get 11 hits and draw 6 walks, if we're going to get that many base runners, this is going to be a fun year. And then pitching-wise, Giolito, even though he kind of struggled with the long ball, he still turned in a pretty solid performance, going 6 innings, giving up 4 runs on 7 hits. No walks, though, striking out 9. But then the bullpen, that's another fun part, just absolutely shutting him down. one hit out of the bullpen, which was immediately nullified from a double play. Real quick before I end it here, I just want to mention that I hope this episode format was good. This is pretty much the format I'm planning on doing for franchise videos going forward. I'm planning on them being a little longer, probably over 20 minutes for the most part. But with that in mind, that's it for this one. I'm really excited about this franchise. This is going to be a fun White Sox team. And if you agree, then follow along with this. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of these White Sox franchise episodes when they're posted. But that's going to be it for me in this one. I hope you guys all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.